Am I the butthole for shutting my sister out after she told our mom something I admitted to her in confidence? My sister, female, 15, and I, female, 16, lost our dad 8 years ago. 4 years ago our mom remarried. Her husband came with 2 kids of his own, 11M, and, female, 7, and they have a baby together, 4M. I admitted to my sister a while ago that I hadn't been on board when our mom first told us she was getting married again, and that I really only accepted for her, but not for me. I admitted I don't love them or see them the same as I see her, mom or dad. And that I will probably always be detached because this is not the way I would have ever chosen my family to me. But I don't want to ruin mom's happiness. I admitted this to her because my sister always suspected. She noticed differences. Remembered how I would always invite her into my bed when she had nightmares versus not really doing anything like that if one of our step-siblings did. Or how I am affectionate with her and not them or our half-brother. And how I never really tell our mom's husband anything about me like I do mom, and how most stuff comes through her to him. She pressed and I was honest. I told her not to tell them because it didn't need to be a big deal. She promised she wouldn't. Well, she told our mom. Pretty much everything. And then my mom decided the 3 of us, me, her and her husband, need family therapy, so they can figure out a way to get me to welcome them into my heart the way she wants me to. And now I'm stuck in family therapy with them trying to achieve a goal I don't want to achieve. And I am so pissed off with my sister. She told me she did it, so we could be one big happy family, and I told her she betrayed my trust, and she can never ever expect me to come to her again because I know she won't keep a promise to herself. She was upset, and now she's even more upset because I am not the same with her anymore. The way I look at it is she broke my trust when I wasn't going to tell her anyway, but then she pushed and then promised to keep it, and she didn't. My mom told me I'm being mean and that my sister did the right thing telling her. She told me I should have been open with her, so we could have done therapy together sooner. I told her I never wanted to go to therapy with them and I didn't want this big deal being made out of it. She told me that regardless, I shouldn't shut my sister out and it's hurtful and mean. Am I the butthole? Not the butthole. Your mother and your sister are for trying to force something. Take a try at therapy and see if you can find a happy spot for you, and if it doesn't work you need to show your mother that if she didn't realize for over 4 years, it means that you are respectful to the rest of your family and you have preferences, and that isn't a bad thing. Original poster replies. That's basically always been my plan. I would feel how I feel but treat them with respect, and I never planned to tell anyone. I wish I hadn't now. I'm so effing pissed off about it now. I can't even trust my own sister. Make sure you say these things in therapy too. Might as well if they're forcing you to go. Let them know they have the basic level of respect from you and always will. Obviously they didn't notice for however long, so what's the difference now? And you were absolutely betrayed by your sister. Trust was broken and now your mother can't even trust that you know your feelings better than them. Yes. The therapist needs to understand the whole picture here. How original poster's confidence was betrayed, and that's what led them to therapy. Because it sure sounds like her behavior was acceptable since mom and stepdad didn't suspect anything, so why are they there? If I were original poster I'd tell the therapist that, and maybe on the 3rd session just say in a monotone I accept them into my hearts. All good now? But I'm petty. There's really something fundamentally wrong, like a deep-seated emotional immaturity, in parents who think they can force feelings. The only reason they want that is to maintain a facade/image and or protect their own feelings, all the while not being equally considerate of the feelings of their children. It's just so incredibly selfish and crafty. Edit. For those wondering, I'm a mother of 3, the oldest is an adult who moved out years ago. If any of you are interested in avoiding the situation original poster describes, read How to Talk, Siblings Without Rivalry by Adele Faber and Elaine Maslish. They explain really well the harm of forcing feelings, and what to do to help build relationships with siblings as well as strengthening the parent-child bond. Their books have comic panels to illustrate common situations, and are easy to understand. My kids not getting along with my boyfriend is a deal breaker for me. Taking it very slow and not jumping into a relationship without allowing our children to adjust, and to air their frustrations and hard feelings is incredibly important. Rushing in too fast with a partner the kids don't like, and not checking in on their emotions or creating a safe space for them to vent, will inevitably lead to resentment and harm the parent-child relationship. Original poster's mom is fast at risk of becoming another estranged parent whose missing reasons / are glaringly obvious to any emotionally mature adult. Missing reasons is a wild ride for those with normal parents. Web link. I do think it's more complicated than that. Most parents want what is best for their children and their children to be happy. Original poster's mother is hearing that her daughter doesn't like half of the current family, and she is worried. She also heard it from sister who is also worried, and we don't know exactly what the delivery was. She thinks original poster is struggling with adjusting and assumes original poster must be unhappy. Mother likely thinks she is getting help to figure out how she can help her daughter adjust and bond so her daughter can be happy and comfortable. She and stepdad may be willing to make changes in how they act or do things to facilitate that. They may be trying. Parents who want things for their kids don't necessarily want them for their kids to look or feel good, but out of worry for their kids and a desire to see their children happy. I know my father worries about my brother's career, for example. It's not because my father wants to show my brother off or needs his money, he doesn't. My father wants to know my brother will be okay when he's no longer around. I have 2 young children, and they are very close currently. I hope they will still be close and love each other when they are adults. Not because it makes me feel good, but because I want them to have family to support them when I am gone. Also, having a positive sibling relationship has enriched my life, so I imagine it would for them too. I'm not saying we can or should force emotions or our kids' paths in life. But especially with minor children, it can be a complicated and non-intuitive balance for many parents, especially those raised without a lot of self-determination themselves. They think they know what is best for their children, and they want to help their children get there. Figuring out when to let go and accept a situation that you think is bad for your child is hard. In this situation, I can understand mom might be worried that her daughter is unhappy and feeling like an outsider and wondering how she can fix it. Agreed. It's so weird that being respectful and just chilling there isn't enough. She's shown a lot of maturity and grace in realizing her stepdad makes her mom happy, but apparently that's not enough. Original poster is 16, which is also a normal time to sort of pull away from family, just in a developmental way, like spend time with friends and form thoughts about the world that may run counter to what your parents / family think. So will the parents freak out over that? Like she's rejecting them when in reality it's healthy for teenagers to not be super dependent and enmeshed? She's in a tough spot. They might be in for a rude awakening when original poster turns 18 and goes low contact with the whole family. Not the butthole, but be honest in therapy. The therapist may be able to set your mom straight about not being able to force family feelings. Family therapy, so they can figure out a way to get me to welcome them into my heart the way she wants me to. Yeah, hopefully it's a real therapist who is trying to just get them all to communicate, not push mother and stepfather's agenda. Yeah, had a few family therapy sessions with my mom. They were always with someone she had been seeing first. Part of the only reason we did the family ones was because her insurance would only pay for so many sessions, and if I was there they could bill it under me. Seems like she only went to consolers rather than real psychologists. People who weren't able to see past the warped version of reality that she was presenting to them. Nah. You're 16 and your sister is 15. I am not going to insult your intelligence or maturity by pointing out how young you both are, but please keep that in mind. You sound mature for your age, and your sister sounds like a 15-year-old trying to understand the dynamic of what's going on and look to her big sister. She was misguided and wrong for what she did, but not malicious. Your anger isn't wrong or not warranted, but use that advanced maturity for some perspective. Your mom and stepdad or whatever, deal with the therapy, but be clear that you don't want to be there. Your sister on the other hand deserves a hug and a talk about how you and her are a team and need to have each other's back. She didn't do something to hurt you, she thought, with her 15-year-old brain that she was actually helping. So much this. I don't know how it isn't further up in the comments. The amount of comments validating the idea that original poster can't ever trust her sister again makes me feel like half of these people are even younger than original poster is. Exactly. And the fact that the mom sought therapy was so good. It's understandable that original poster is angry, but there's absolutely no harm in going for therapy and exploring all of her feelings. It will definitely help. If I were to give the mom the benefit of the doubt, I would guess that she wants family therapy because she wants her family to be happy. All of her family. And that is not a butthole move at all. Generally, I think family therapy is a good idea whenever families are blended. There is the possibility she is not considerate of original poster's feelings and just wants them to get along regardless of how they feel because it is easier for her, and that would be inattentive parenting in my opinion, but it is likely she just wants you all happy. It is clear, and very understandable, that you have resentment and a lot of feelings in you concerning the situation. You didn't ask for step-siblings and yet you have them. I would say to try the therapy. Personally, I feel individual therapy would be most useful for you so you can work through your feelings in a safe place. Can you recommend this to your mom instead? And maybe at a later time when you work out the wrinkles of how you feel, you may then be in a better place for family therapy, or may still feel that it is not what you want. I understand you feel ganged up on by being forced to go to family therapy, and I bet that, and the betrayal you feel, are all quite sucky feelings. I am sorry it sucks. If it is a good therapist, then they might be able to properly advise you and your family, whether attempting to bond is best or it is best to give you and your step-siblings space. Good luck, and I hope it all works out. I agree, nah. It seems like the sister just wants to help. Therapy seems like a really constructive way to deal with it, but the goal should be some kind of mutual understanding, not necessarily pushing a one big happy family narrative. Nah. You do need therapy. You all do. That doesn't mean it's okay to betray each other's trust or force someone to do something they don't want. It's also not cool to let your preferential treatment cause emotional damage to your step and half family. You and your sister are both very young and still learning what is and isn't okay. This is a complicated situation. Your sister recognized preferential treatment, which is likely to cause damage to your other siblings, especially if they see you in full as a sister. She was worried for you and about losing you if you were to turn your back on the family as an adult later on, which is approaching fast. It could also influence your sister's perspective on those family members. That baby is likely to grow up admiring you and being heartbroken that you don't care, and they'll eventually pick up on it the same way your sister did. Your step-siblings may not have picked up on it yet, but retrospection is a bitch and a blessing. There are better ways to handle this all the way around, but everyone makes mistakes. Family therapy would help everyone properly come to a mutual understanding, but again, this should be a choice. I agree with this and am saddened to see it so far down. I never thought I'd live to see the hive mind say therapy isn't the right choice. Not the butthole being betrayed sucks. You don't have to trust anyone, let alone someone who proved themselves untrustworthy. Wow. I'm sorry, original poster. Not the butthole, and I don't blame you for feeling like she broke your trust because that's exactly what she did. I think they're well-meaning, but you can't force someone to feel something they don't, and it sounds like you were treating everyone respectfully. Relationships take time, and they're going about this by pushing you. I'm sorry. I don't have advice. Therapy may be good, but individual therapy, not group. Nah. Look, you're 16 and your sister is 15. I totally see a scenario where you interpret things into being forced to love your step-family and you feel you were perfectly happy before, but that may not be the case. Your sister noticed things. She may not be the only one. You may seem unhappy and you may be actively hurting your step-family. You don't have to love them, but if you're especially cold and distant when you don't have to be, yes, you may need some family therapy for your sake and the rest of your family. Just be clear in your own needs in therapy. No competent therapist will even think they can make you love your family. You are obviously unhappy, so take advantage of this to be honest with your own feelings, because up until now, you've admitted you've been sacrificing them for your mother's sake. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.